withholding tax. So withholding tax, that's the filing of the withholding tax. That is what we are going to cover today. So I'm going to do a small presentation, then we do one example, then we call it a night. So withholding income tax is tax withheld at source. So a person making certain payments deducts tax at applicable rate and remits the tax to the commissioner on behalf of the recipient. So the person who is paying another person is the one who withhold the tax and pays to KRA. So that is a very important point you should take. Then the examples of withholding, the examples of payments subject to withholding. Number one, we have management, professional, all training fees. So these are subjected to withholding tax. Number two, we have consultants fee, legal fee, audit fee. Number three, we have contractual fee. Number four, we have winnings, that is like you win like a bet. So that money is subjected to withholding tax. Then we have appearances at all performance to entertain. So we have some people who entertains, maybe anaitwa mahali, maybe in a function. When this person you are paying this person around 45,000, you must withhold the tax when paying this person. Then we have royalties. Then we have interest and the deemed interests, then dividends. Then all of these, those examples, 8 of them, we are going to work an example on it. Each of them, we are going to do an example so that we see how these things are done in the system. Then the very important note to note is the percentage deducted varies between income, and it is dependent on whether you are a resident or non-resident. So the percentage of the deductions is not equal. It depends whether you are a Kenyan or you are a Kenyan. Or it also depends on the incomes. Royalties or interests, dividends, the percentages differs from one income to another when regarding to withholding tax. Then how do I pay withholding tax? Then number one thing you should know, any amount withheld should be remitted to KRA on or before the 20th day of the following month. So it is the responsibility of the person withholding who withholds tax to take that money or to pay the money to KRA. Number two, payments of withholding tax is done online via iTax. That is, you generate a payment slip and present it all present it at end of the appointed KRA banks to pay the tax due, or pay online. I think for those who we started the class with, I think you know how to generate the payment slip. You can also pay via M-Pesa, that is using the pay bill 572. Then another thing you should know, the account number is the payment registration number quoted at the top right corner of the generated payment slip. Those whom we started with, you can remember that one. Then when you successfully remit the deducted amount to KRA, we shall send a withholding certificate to the email you registered with, all items. So once your income is withheld, you must be notified in the KRA using the email that you are sent with. So they send you a tax certificate telling you that your certain amount of money has been withheld. Then is withholding class, excuse me kidogo tu. So sorry for that. Is withholding tax a final tax? So here it is very, very important you make this, you understand this. So one thing you should know, there are a few instances where withholding tax is final. Withholding tax is final when deducted in relation to payment made to a non-resident person with no permanent establishment in Kenya. That is one of the exemptions. So anyone who is a non-Kenyan, withholding tax is final. Then number two, with regard to payments to resident persons, withholding tax is final when it relates to winning, qualifying interest, qualifying dividends, and pensions. That is a person with, that is a non-Kenyan, or no, that is a Kenyan. So one thing you should know, with a Kenyan person or a residence person, withholding tax is final when it relates to winnings, qualifying interest. Then we have qualifying dividends and pensions. So those ones, once the withholding, if it is 5%, it is final. It is not going to be taxed anymore. Then another thing you should know, in every other case, withholding tax is not final tax. The taxpayer, that is the payee, is required to declare their incomes and the withholding tax details when filing their annual tax returns and to pay any balance of the tax due. What do we mean here? It means that during the year, your income has been withheld. So when you do your final end year filing, you must declare this income. That is number one. Number two, since we have said withholding tax is not final, you will have to pay some money relating to that withholding tax. That's one we are going to see here. Then another thing you should be able to know is where a payer fails to withhold the tax, that is a payer, the person paying you, the tax shall be deemed to be due and payable by him as although he was the person who earned the income. And the due date for the payment shall be date on which the amount of tax should have been remitted to KRA. So this is the person who withhold your tax. If he doesn't remit this money to KRA, all the burden is going to lie on him, since he did not do the something that was not required. Then another thing you should know, late payment penalty of 5% shall also apply on the tax due, together with a late payment interest of 1% per month for the period that the tax remains unpaid. Even if it is 10 years, even if it is 5 years, even if it is 2 years, 5% interest in a penalty, then 1% per month for the period. So if you are paying 10%, 1% plus 5% of the 5% of the 10%, that is what you will pay. Even if you leave it for 10 years, even if you leave it for 2 years, that money you have to pay. And other times, KRA is very clever. Even if you assume everything, when you are going to be paid, what you call, maybe you are employed, maybe you are about to retire, KRA itakata pension yako, by the way. If you really, you can't be clean to KRA. So there are so many consequences when you don't comply with the KRA. So that is the end of my presentation. It was very short about the withholding. Maybe if you have a question, there is a place you need a clarification, you can ask a question before we continue.
Charles,
Yes,
I have a question.
yes.
What do we mean by final?
Or final.
Oh,
Final
final. What
means,
do you mean by final, not final? Payments and
okay,
all that. Does it come into play?
okay.
I'm
Number one,
confused.
you remember we did rent? Eva?
Yeah. Yes.
We said once you do rent for the monthly rental income, it is final. So when we say it is final, once you pay, once you are taxed maybe at 5%, there is no tax that you are going also to pay anywhere. So it is final. If maybe you have got your dividends, that is 2,000, you tax 5% of that money. What you remit to KRA is final. You are not, when you are going to do what? When you are going to do your end year filing, you don't include the dividends because it was final. But if you are doing some consultants somewhere, and whoever who is paying you withholds 5% of the money that is paying you, it is not final. So when you are going to file at the end of the year, the consultant's fee, you will have to include in your what? In your end year filing. This means that once it is not final, you will find it in your account. You will find it in your ledger. So even if you file your income only, it will not go through. So you'll have to include that income. I don't know whether I've answered you or I've confused you more.
The way I get is that if it's final, when doing the paying the withholding tax, when it comes to year end, we do not include the particular type of income.
Exactly.
That is fine.
Exactly.
But if it is not final, you still have to submit, you still have to withhold in the normal transaction, and at the year end, you still have to
declare
as part of the
income.
The income in filing the return.
Exactly.
I don't know if
and at the end of the year, and when you are including, you have to pay tax on it because it was 5%. Maybe the tax is 30%. So meaning you have to pay the 25%. Are we together?
Come up again.
I'm saying if you know, if they withhold 5%, and your income was being taxed at 30%, what normally do at the end of the year, that income you have to pay the 25% as tax. Yes, because 5% was already withheld and remitted to KRA. Now remaining the 25% you have to pay.
Oh,
yes.
Okay. On the income.
When we are going to do an example, you will see.
Okay. So, is maybe another question, are there guidelines like we that are followed when doing now the normal now withholding?
The normal withholding?
Just before year end.
You see,
or is it
what happens? You as a person, you don't withhold. The person who is withholding is the one who is paying you.
Oh, okay.
You see, for example, Evelyn, she's offering consultant's fee. Maybe she has been called to KU to offer consultant's fee, Kenyatta University. When Kenyatta University, maybe the fee was 45,000. Kenyatta University, because it is consultant fee, when paying Evelyn, they will take 45%, get 5%. They withhold 5%. Once they get 5%, they tax 5%. So meaning Everin will get 45,000 less 5%. Are we together?
Yes.
Then not the 5% of the 45,000, they remit to KRA.
Okay.
So when Everin, she's offering consultancy fee and she's employed somewhere. So if at the end of the year, Everin, she has got what we call a P9. Okay? She will file the normal way using a P9. Then, unakumbuka pale tulikuwa tunasema, do you have any other income? You say yes. Then you will get what we call, you will get a column where utaweka your income you got from consultancy fee. Okay? Are you together?
Yeah.
So you have included the 45,000, you have included to your normal employment income. So what will populate at the end of the doing your tax computation will be the 25% should be there, because the normal the percentage that is supposed to be taxed at 45% at 45,000 is 30%. Already 5% has been submitted to KRA. So it is your responsibility as Everin to remit the 25% of the 45% of the 45,000.
Oh, because the 5% is final.
No. It's not final.
Oh, it's because you had already, when you're being paid, it was already withheld.
Yes, by Kenyatta University.
Okay.
Yes. And once Kenyatta University remits the 5% to KRA, KRA will have to notify you using the email you gave that you have been paid this amount of money and we have received 5% of your consultant fee. So even if you go to the filing of the end year, it will not go through. Lazima ikwambie you have the withholding tax. You have to declare. So hakunanga shortcut. Yes.
Wow.
Umeelewa hapo?
Yes. Thank you
Clear?
very much.
Yes, I'm following.
Okay. Gulo?
I am following.
Oh, you are good. So it's only 6 minutes remaining. What we'll do, we can do one example.
Yes, no problem.
We can do one example so that we can do what? We can call it a night. So with the time, if to organize, we have enough time, we shall do more. So I think we do what? If as we wait for the 6 minutes, ziishe, then we log in. Maybe if you have any burning issue and you need any clarification, you can ask. So that when we log in for the next 40 minutes, we do one example. That's my thinking. Are the videos, the recording assisting you? Hello? Hello?
Charles, hi.
Yes, you were able to follow from our last, the classes you missed?
Yes, I've been following.
Okay.
I'm still catching up. Yeah, so far so good.
So when you get any difficulties, just contact me.
Yeah,
Eva?
definitely.
I'm still following. Yeah, I think I'll get back to you for more questions.
Yes.
For more questions.
So for whatever we have done, at least I promise to give you one, I think Eva, you are able to do. You are able to do that one you had told me.
The what? The what
You
specifically?
had told me there is a P9U for your friend.
Yes.
You are able to do so.
No, not yet.
Mhm.
Yes.
So once I get, I think I should share with you maybe tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, the one of the two different P9s. I will inbox you. That is Glow and Eva, so that at least you try to do by yourself. Maybe where you will be stuck, maybe that is where the point now you will know whether you have understood or not. So rental income is everyone is okay for those ones except Claire.
For me, I haven't finished watching it, so
oh, you were not there.
I was not there, so I haven't finished watching it through. Yeah.
Income, I'm okay with rental income.
Rental income.
Actually, I'm the one who did the who was sharing my screen that day.
Okay. Then now we are not done with that because we have withholding tax on rental.
Yes.
So that was a best hiyo ni ile ya those are residential. So we have one to go, that is withholding, that is commercial. Commercial, what they normally do, they withhold. That is the 16%. Now the VAT comes in commercial. So you withhold the 16% VAT. So that one we're going to do one example, then you catch up from there. So I think we are doing good. Ama si hivyo?
Iko sawa.
I'm just waiting for the 2 minutes to elapse so that we can log in and do an example, because tukianza itapotea tu, alafu I wanted to log in afresh, and the Glow, you will be sharing your screen.
Okay, no problem.
So that and maybe we can be opening what I shared today in the WhatsApp group, so that at least you can go through. We see that is the example that we are going to use today. That is the Excel sheet and the P9.
Okay, so Excel sheet.
I hope everyone is seeing the Excel sheet and also the P9. Although that P9 already it was already been filed, but we can use it for the purpose of demonstration, so that we can get one. So far, I've not got a withholding tax. So when I get one, we are able to do. But basically, I'm going to give you all the procedures. The only thing that we are not going to do here is to upload. We will not be able to upload the Excel the Excel sheet that we have filed to the portal, but all the procedures will remain the same when doing it. So we get ready to log in again, because 1 minute is almost off. It will log out automatically. Then we log in.